What is up, guys? Kevin Cage back with another Xrp update. If you want daily crypto news, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's dive right into this one. I want to respect your time, but please pay attention to this entire video. I'm going to bring it full circle here. So first things first, this came from the OCC and is also on fortune.com. This is a first for the cryptocurrency industry. Visa-backed Anchorage gets a federal bank charter from the OCC. Now we have to pay attention to this. We do know that they've listed Xrp in the past, and also we have some commentary from the president of Anchorage on Xrp specifically. So we have to connect this, obviously. High level, what are we seeing across the board? Banks developing and essentially becoming custodians for the digital asset space, meaning crypto assets as well. Private, public, it is all going to be connected. Right here, a survey published by crypto index fund provider Bitwise Asset Manager has found the number of financial advisors allocating capital toward crypto has increased by roughly 50% in a single year. I showed you guys the top 10 crypto assets versus the S&P 500 in a year's time performance. There is no question. And if you watch my videos in 2019 and 2020, all I've been saying is financial advisors are getting ready to start listing it to us everyday people. They're going to get in early, buy the dips, and then sell it to us at a premium. The question is the bull run officially here and there's, nowhere but up? Or is there going to be one more cup being formed of manipulation? They buy the dip and scare people out, and then they sell it to, you and me, everyday people. That is my belief, all right? So I want to show you some connections. Stick with me. Talked about Brian Hubbard of the OCC listing, and of course talking about Anchorage getting this bank charter. This is big. I know we've seen Kraken and Avanti do something similar, and it's very powerful specifically because it essentially helps them get around the laws. This is nationally speaking. So here's an old quote from the president of Anchorage as well. As the third largest digital asset by market cap, Xrp appeals to a number of our institutional clients, which include VC funds, family offices, hedge funds, and other large-scale crypto investors. Okay, what else do we know? This just came out today by Brad Garlinghouse retweeting Anchorage's tweet. So Anchorage says, crypto deserves a bank, and we are immensely proud of being approved as the one to set the standard. And you guys can read the full document here. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. If you ever had doubts that crypto was going to play an integral role in the future of global financial systems, well, hope this clears some things up. Congrats. This is happening with or without us. Trends are my friends, and I'm going to be riding this wave. And my advantage is I'm going to outweight the majority of people, and I already have. Right here, some commentary from Anchorage. We are a national bank. The only difference is our business line, that we're doing crypto assets versus doing other assets, and everything will be tokenized just as securities and real estate are coming. Anchorage president said in an interview, the benefit of having a federally chartered bank is that it preempts all the state laws. The clarity of being regulated by the oldest regulator for banks in the United States sends a very clear message. Yes, it does. Seems like Brian Brooks, whether he steps down from the OCC or not, has gotten so much done since stepping up in April 2020. Price is a distraction. Yes, I hate waiting. I know it's been a boring day for price action for XRP right now, sitting between, 20, 30 cents as always. But this is what's happening. One of the biggest shakeouts is simply just a matter of time and just waiting. All right. Now here's the commentary I wanted to show you. This is just on CoinDesk, and you guys can, read the whole release as well from Anchorage. Now, what do we know also about Anchorage? Because we've seen them everywhere. Well, remember Atom, and we are well aware of them, Association for the Digital Asset Markets. And remember, the new CEO of Atom is Michelle Bond. And notice here, Anchorage right here, and BitGo. So we'll talk about that. We've talked about Symbiont. We've talked about Paxos. We've talked about Genesis. We've talked about BlockFi. There's a lot going on. So remember, Michelle Bond has been appointed CEO of Atom. She was formerly at Ripple as well as the SEC. So right here, 2019 to 2020, Global Head of Government and Regulatory Affairs. She was also at Blockchain, Head of Policy. We can see right here, Senior Counsel at the SEC. So these are just the caliber of people and just a little example. Even right here, FINRA. So again, please understand, relationships are very important in this industry. Consider Sandy O'Connor, consider the Goldman Sachs exec from, the Forex space. There's a lot of powerful people, all right? And now Glenn Hutchins, supposedly stepping down, and he's, on the board of Digital Currency Group, one of the first investors backing Ripple. Barry Silbert is essentially working on a newer, subsidiary, I think? Don't quote me on that. I forgot the other gentleman's name that's taking the position of CEO. There's a lot of exciting things. There's a lot of money in the space, backed potentially going public, these valuations, payment providers. Again, this is what I'm paying attention to, and this is what I'm putting my money towards. And I know a lot of you enjoyed the previous video about QNT, Quant, another digital asset that I hold. And I know some people roll their eyes. Why would you diversify if you're just going to go into another, crypto asset? Don't, and people make fun of it. Like if you have too much XRP, own a little XLM as a hedge. I can see that to an extent, but I can also see the opposite perspective. All right. So remember, BitGo, which was also on the Atom site, BitGo builds enterprise wallet for XRP in 2017. We've joined forces with BitGo to make leveraging XRP for global transactions easier for business. Now, this isn't just, something, this is enterprise grade security, multi-sig. So it kind of reminds me of things like poly-sign, poly meaning multiple and sig signature. So pay attention to all of this. I'm still watching poly-sign. I'm still watching other ecosystems that they're building. It's not just going to be XRP, but XRP is going to be a freaking huge part of it. So do not buy this FUD and buy these narratives that, are being sold to you at face value. Question it. Wonder what's going on. Why is the stock market going up towards all-time high over and over and over again with all the QE, and yet people think that's a sign of a healthy economy when we're home and getting stimulus checks to stay home and stay brain dead, and kids are wearing masks at school? Think. All right, so already went through that. And remember, Atom, you guys can see BitGo and kind of look at these connections. I just wanted to point that out most importantly. So we talked about this. Next, Anders L. And I couldn't say it better right here. XRP's path to decentralization. You understand, just like the internet started with universities, a few governments, things of that nature, and starts becoming more decentralized over time, this is what Ripple's doing with XRP. Yes, there's a lawsuit. Yes, I'll talk about Gary Gensler's commentary in 2018. I saw somebody commented on a tweet as well that they actually had him as a professor in the past, which is really cool. And he actually called, just so you know, so I know you saw that previous video where he called XRP a bridge currency. Guess what? In 2018, he called Ethereum and XRP non-compliant securities. But the rest of the world already declared Ethereum to be more of, not a security. They call it a commodity or, utility token, something like that. And the rest of the world, Japan, the UK, Singapore, they already have clarity for XRP. They said it's not a security. So the United States will have to follow suit. Remember, 80 to 90% of all Ripple, the company's partners, are outside of the US, including the transaction volume. So yes, it could put a dent in the plan or delay it, but I do not think it will affect XRP whatsoever. It is global, it is decentralized. All right, so let's keep going through this now. Okay, so XRP's path to decentralization. Validators are being decentralized. Ripple, the company, is removing validators from the UNL, the unique node list. Below 20% now belonging to Ripple, and the ultimate goal is 0%. Please understand, a decentralized network that would create trust and reduce counterparty risk is in their best interest, and that does not happen overnight. So I cannot, I have to keep repeating that and screaming it from the rooftops. And understand, as an investor, I'm looking at the fundamentals. So yes, you can look at the throughput, the scalability, the cost, the settlement time of XRP compared to Ethereum and Bitcoin. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. But what else am I considering? Because I shared this on Twitter, and I'll go over it in a minute, and it was showing that, and they say, okay, we'll compare XRP to HBAR. And I agree, HBAR can settle much faster. It is crazy. It's like the most complex math that can't even be thought of with our human minds. And if successful, it will kick butt, and I hold some. But I do not see it as a threat to XRP. There's so much friction in this ecosystem. There's a lot that these ecosystems can help remove, in the fragmentation overall. So what I do is, as an investor, yes, there could be better technology, but guess what? Who has 8 years of developments? Who has 60 million ledgers plus closed without a single error? Who has a unique proof of consensus, proof of correctedness type of consensus mechanism, the first in history to go beyond proof of work and even before proof of stake, so to speak? That's what I'm looking at. You can't have 300 plus direct customers. You have Finastra. You have these groups with 9,000 customers right there. You have ACI Worldwide. The integrations is what I care about, investing in the fundamentals, because I understand network effects and how the flywheel effect can truly happen. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense for some of you. So logo change from Ripple to separate the XRP logo. Yes, the founders selling their XRP, whether you think it's moral or not. So yes, I guess you could look at it in an optimistic way of them, distributing the XRP. Teach their own, not my place to comment on that. You guys decide for yourselves. And obviously, if you don't like that, you can sell your XRP. You're not doing me any favor whatsoever. You can look at, Fetch. You can look at other proof of stake protocols. They start off very, very centralized as well. I've shown you, even Vitalik Buterin in Ethereum, the Ethereum Foundation. like literally proof that they were saying when to dump and sell in the market. Unfortunately, this is just a part of the early days in this ecosystem. All right, and now founders gifting XRP to charity. You guys can see that documented. XRP proving utility through on-demand liquidity, absolutely. And I already talked about Mexico as just a single corridor example, and there's no question it is one of the best options. It's not just speculation, it is reducing pre-funded accounts around the globe, and it's threatening groups like JP Morgan that are the kings of the correspondent banking network. So I'm going to keep screaming this from the rooftops. A myriad of different companies building on top of the XRP ledger. Yes, other companies holding large amounts of XRP, such as Coil with 1 billion, R3, which is trade finance and capital markets, bought a minimum 1 billion XRP option. We have loan products like the letter of credit LOC to specifically for XRP on-demand liquidity usage. This is clear utility, creating additional demand for XRP out of thin air using interest, which is what many groups do in fractional reserve banking. They're just reinventing the wheel and doing this for crypto assets. I think it is absolutely genius, right? So if you don't like XRP, that is completely fine. But I personally believe that, people like David Schwartz are a tad smarter than the average person, leaving rude comments on a YouTube video. Other companies holding large amounts of XRP, already read that. XRP Ledger Foundation, remember they partnered with many groups. And of course, Ripple is at the World Economic Forum, aligned with many of their incentives in their Go Green, climate change energy, and EWT Energy Web Token, which is very, very deep, working on decarbonizing, if that's a word, the XRP ledger. This is what I'm watching. These fundamentals are screaming loud. Yes, current price is a distraction. What did Glenn Hutchins say? A big shot, along with Gary Cohen. And these people are behind, protocols like Ripple. Not even arguably. Glenn Hutchins is behind Ripple. There's no doubt about it. And he even, stepping down from the New York board? What was it, the Fed? I'll have to go check that again. But he goes on to say, current price is a distraction. The value is in the protocol. And we've heard Chris Larson say this years ago if you watch videos of 2013, 2014. So you guys decide, but I believe that words mean things, and I think that they will show themselves in due time. All right, haters know nothing. The escrow, as we know, is the elephant in the room. Without it, the SEC will not have a case. Very interesting. I did hear Gary Gensler's commentary on the Howey testing going through XRP, explaining why he thought it was a non-compliant security in 2018. Very interesting. All right. Charles Hoskinson, CEO of IOHK, founder of Cardano, has some really cool commentary. I'm going to save your time, but talking about building open protocols that will eat companies' lunch, like Apple, Google, how unfair it is they're controlling which apps are public and viewable in the App Store. That is the issue with centralized platforms. This guy is pretty radical. I think he's a genius. I personally like him. I know some people get very political. I'm super, super neutral as a person. I'm just here. I'm excited about the technology and investing. All right, Roth Economin, recording for later. Ripple investor, Standard Chartered, remember one of the founding members back at the Global Payments Steering Group with Bank of America, which is today called RippleNet, back in 2016, is on the Cobalt foreign exchange platform, a DLT-based 24/7 post-trade solutions for FX and digital assets, designed as a middle office platform. Very interesting. You guys can read more about it here. I was kind of going through it. We're seeing this across the board. Don't listen to what Bitcoin Maxi Joe says. I'm listening to the institutions what the banks are building, and the more fear there is in the market, the more confident I am that there's something valuable here that they don't want us to have. That's how I think. All right, we've partnered with Northern Trust to launch Zodia, a cryptocurrency custodian for institutional investors. And this is literally right under what I was just showing you by Roth Economin. Definite follow on Twitter alongside with Anders L. If you guys are not following him as well, X_Anderson. So now you have to pay attention to the trends as well. So crypto already represents 0.3% of the world's currency, and bank deposits are forecasted to continue to grow with a CAGR of 32% in the next 5 years, right? Or the next 4 years now. While there is increasing interest from institutional investors, they account for only 9% of investments in crypto at present, aka opportunity. I'm not going anywhere. Now, here's some Gary Gensler, and this is all Mickey B. Fresh, guys. Mr. Fresh Time on Twitter found all of these clips, so thank you, sir, for sharing it. I know, I've been sharing it, Bank XRP, just trying to spread the info. Greatly appreciate his insight and his, technological approach as well, or his technical approach. So listen to this really quick, and this is shared by Real XRP Boy.
It will be settled in some court at some point in time, and there might be regulatory forbearance, and maybe it'll be determined not to be, but I've expressed my
he's talking about Ripple being settled in court at some point, and this is back in 2018.
But it will be settled in some court at some point in time, and there might be regulatory forbearance, and maybe they'll be determined not to be. But I've expressed my thoughts. I don't own any of this stuff. I don't have any particular conflict. I'm just speaking as I.
All right, so very interesting. Wanted to show you that. And now I just want to remind everybody, so this is a massive thread put out by Bank XRP. So there's the good, the bad, and just the facts overall regarding XRP, the Ripple lawsuit, Gary's commentary speculating if he'll have any way, the new administration, just wondering what the heck is going to happen in terms of regulatory clarity for XRP. Because if they come down on XRP, you best believe that your other altcoins are in potential trouble. So a win for XRP is going to be a win for the space. I own many assets. XRP is one of my biggest holdings for good reason. All right. So remember, please know, on-demand liquidity, formerly Xrp in 2018 when it went live for the first time with just a few FIs like Mercury FX, have come a very long way in the last 2 or 3 years, along with the decentralization of the XRP ledger, which was one of Gary's concerns in the video that I watched. And I've been doing research, guys. I'm watching all of this, looking at it, and then I'm coming and sharing a video with you. I'm not just spitballing the stuff. All right, since then, we've had new corridors. You can talk about the Singaporean dollar, the Japanese yen, the Thai baht, etc. Now, Coil, web monetization, streaming of payments, a whole nother powerful use case. We can talk about Forte and game developers, thanks to initiatives like formerly Spring, it's Ripple X. We can talk about PayString, formerly PayID, with 100 million people in this organization overall. So it's a bunch of organizations that created this giant group, this coalition, I should say, Open Payments Coalition, which includes Unstoppable Domains and many other groups and exchanges like Bitrue, etc. RippleNet Cloud, getting them onboarded within a matter of 8 weeks. They joined the ISO 222 body, the first DLT group, meaning Ripple did, joined the ISO standards. We had MoneyGram. He talked about the treasury use case. You hear the CEO of MoneyGram talk about it. Then you see the silly articles that people believe that MoneyGram never utilized XRP. No, look at the treasury, please. All right. And then even right here, great point. So thank you for sharing TOCK. So right here, PolySign, custody, multisig, Flare Networks. Don't even get me started. That's probably the biggest thing that we have for this year coming up that's coming live in Q1, Q2. A new decentralized network bringing full smart contract utility to the XRP ecosystem without any trade-offs. That is the biggest point. We've gone through it. XR Patience or XRP Artisan on Twitter has those great videos. Please go give him a subscribe on YouTube. You definitely will learn something. All right, so went through that. And now just a quick reminder. So right here, right there, you can see 60 million plus, almost 61 million ledgers closed without issue since the inception of the XRP ledger. Banks don't just adopt technology that sounds good. They have to test it for years. It is rigorous. They cannot afford a single mistake. This is one of those assets and technologies that is ready for that major adoption. Banks are custodying digital assets, guys. Do not be fooled, right? Talk about the metrics. You can go through all of this. Remember, network effects is what's important. Now, the metrics and technology is still valuable, and the consensus mechanism, I think, is something built to become one of the biggest decentralized protocols to govern payments. There is no question in my mind. All right, how does the XRP ledger work? You can see there are currently 36 validators, and this is on ripple.com/XRP, and Ripple runs 6 of them. Please, 65% of the mining of Ethereum and Bitcoin are at centralized farms in China, even if there's more mining farms in Texas. You can't just turn a blind eye to that, all right? RippleX, the initiatives, XRP ledger. Please, these are just the things that I consider when I'm looking at that or, reading YouTube comments. I'm sticking to the fundamentals. Yes, there's emotion involved. I'm not going to, turn a blind eye to that, but this is not just me guessing. All right, so finite supply of XRP. Remember, already there's been 9.1 million XRP since September 2020 that have been destroyed through transaction processes through the burn rate. Now, this is not just something that reduces the supply and makes the price moon. If you guys know the XRP ledger, the burn rate is to prevent spam attacks like DDoS, DDoS, distributed denial of service attacks, to spam the network. It makes it obviously more expensive for hackers that would eventually spend too much money to hack the network. Just like if you're familiar with Bitcoin's proof of work, and the idea is Bitcoin's always ahead, so it would cost the hackers too much to try to, do things like double spending. That is the same type of concept. So there's a finite supply. They will not, and they're not able to make any more XRP. Remember, XLM burnt half their supply. And I'm not sure really why they did it. Were they afraid or foreseeing what's happening with the lawsuit? I'm very curious. We do know that Jed McCaleb has ties with the the Federal Reserve, his family members. But nonetheless, guys, I'm curious what's going to happen with the escrow. Is it going to be fine? Is there going to be fees? Are they going to get rid of it and lose it altogether? You tell me. We're simply waiting. What I can tell you is that I'm going to be riding out this storm regardless. All right, benefits, 3 to 5 seconds. You can see the transaction. Bitcoin, this is very, very generous. Normally it's, several dollars, 3 transactions per second. Sometimes it can be, 7. 0.3% of global energy consumption. No. Remember, we teamed up with other initiatives for sustainability as well. These sustainability or sustainable development goals are big, and they're going to be a big push in the coming years. So can't turn a blind eye on to that as well. All right, so I feel like I covered that. And then right here, Martin Volk, I'm just reading this headline, guys. You get the gist. We've watched, Christine Lagarde many times, president of the European Central Bank, formerly the director of the IMF. She even goes on to say, speculative Bitcoin needs regulation. Well, who else have we heard say this? Steve Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary. We've heard Mark Carney, former governor of the Bank of England, a paid RippleNet customer, which I have my own conspiracies with that. You've heard him trash the US dollar and make commentary about it as the reserve status. And Trump or, Mnuchin didn't come after him because I think they're all in bed together. Things of that nature. So you guys decide for yourselves. I just wanted to point that out, right? So we're going to keep an eye on this. I think this is very big and also Visa backed. So Visa, MasterCard, these card providers are competing with who? China. This is a digital Cold War. And if you guys know this game of chess, who is bigger than Visa and MasterCard and is a card provider? Union Pay. And remember, we have Standard Chartered, RippleNet partner as well, early investor back then. They are involved with who? That Access platform and what is it? Alipay. So yeah, Alibaba, all of this, these money networks, China. It's just, there's a lot of things going on, guys. I can't pretend to know everything. All I'm saying is there's a lot going on that I'm not aware of, and I think digital assets are going to be one of the many answers. So this is very important. Please stick around for this part, guys. So if you've made over, $500, $1,000, $100,000 in crypto, and you not transacted like Bitcoin to a Bitcoin wallet or moved XRP from one exchange to another, that is not a taxable event. That is just a simple transfer. But if you've sold or converted XRP to Tether, to USDC, or Bitcoin into Ethereum, that is a taxable event. So do not get hit with fines. Be aware of that, and you have to file that to the IRS. I've been doing this for 3 to 4 years at least. And what's really cool, and of course, I did Forex back in the day. This is getting a lot easier to use. I have this everything's being kept track of in real time, and I highly recommend getting familiar with this. This is shared by iTrustCapital. How are cryptos taxed? Inform yourselves, guys. Sharpen your sword while you're waiting for this investment. I know a lot of young people out here, they want to start making money. They want to, get into the world of finance, but you have to learn the fundamentals of money management and accounting first. So that is like my biggest point of advice for anybody. And right here, just an example. Selling cryptocurrency into USD, so cashing out. Say you purchased one Bitcoin for $4,000 in January 2020, and then you sold it at that all-time high of $20,000 in December. Within 1 year, right? Less than 12 months. Well, your profit was $16,000. That $16,000, guys, is short-term capital gains because you held your coin for less than 12 months. If you held it for over 12 months, your tax bracket would be reduced and it would be a long-term capital gain. So typically, it's taxed as ordinary income, subject to your income tax bracket, which ranges from 10% to 37%. So please be aware of this. You guys have to file this. You do not want to get hit hard later on. I'm all good from 2017 to 2020. I took care of my 2020 stuff yesterday in a matter of hours, and I'll go over that. So right here, guys, iTrustCapital, links are in the video description. If you have a 401k, if you have a Roth IRA, or if you want to just roll a little money into this and obviously diversify into crypto like myself. I still hold a lot of XRP on this platform. I'm not selling it. Ethereum, XLM, and Chainlink are coming. This is a great option. So keep that in mind. Look at your options. I was with Bit IRA in the past. Was not happy with the user design. Just my preference, and I'm saving way more with iTrust. Okay? Keep in mind they have a bunch of press releases. Inform yourselves, guys. Inform yourselves. It is up to you. Nobody's going to save you. We just have to, learn as we go. All right, and then this is one of my accounts on iTrustCapital, just showing you the platform. So I had my XRP holdings back in August when we were 31 cents. You can get gold, you can do silver, you can diversify into whatever you want. And this is tax-free. So if I had, $2 million and I put it into the US dollar, I can, keep it on the platform. I can buy lower. I can move some money back to Vanguard or Fidelity into a normal mutual fund. I can do whatever I want. It's my money. So that is the very powerful stuff that people have to remember. Now, TaxBit is what I want to talk about. This is literally the best platform, and I challenge you, if you have a better platform that I don't know about for crypto taxes and tracking, comment down below, let me know, message me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever you can, because I am all ears. Now, I've used the Crypto Trader Tax, I've used this other platform, I'm blanking on the name, and I've tried, and I've even used, multiple in a single year with like 20 exchanges before. And I can tell you right now, this is the easiest one I've ever used. I've watched old interviews on YouTube. I'm probably going to get a demo account so I can do a video for you guys. This is the best option there is, without a doubt. So right here, you have your portfolio value, the taxable gains. It's ongoing. And the coolest thing is this, for all of you accounting people out there, you can do either HIFO, highest in, first out. You can see the FIFO, first in, first out option, different accounting methods, and see where you save the most money. So yes, when it comes down to potentially saving you, $10,000 more, $50,000 more from taxes, because I'm sure some of you took profit. If you've profited more than $1,000, this is worth the investment in my opinion. Please check it out. Links are in the video description. Kevin Cage is the promo code to save you 10%. All right. Now right here, here's the options. Honestly, if you've just done some basic, taxes or trades in 250 transactions, you should be good to go with this. I have the Pro for 500 just because I'm actively trading a lot. Tax Optimizer, I actually already shared it with my personal accountant. I downloaded the forms, sent it to her. I'm good to go. So it feels really good. I've had some issues in the past. I even emailed support some other CSV files of transactions. They took care of it for me. I've never had better customer support. And as always, guys, I know I'm shilling a platform, but I only talk about platforms that I use and literally have experience utilizing. So you guys decide for yourselves. You don't have to use my link, but definitely go check it out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.